What's good, everybody? I'm Blitz5, and in today's video, I'm going to be doing a breakdown of a recent chicken dinner I got in 4-man squads on Sanook. So I want to kind of go behind the scenes here and explain everything that I was doing and what the squad was doing, the strategy behind our actions, why we did what we did, and how we made it to the final circle and pulled off that winner chicken dinner. So obviously there's different landing strategies depending on whether you're hot dropping or going in the middle of nowhere. Those have their pros and cons, but one thing you want to make sure is that if you're playing with a 4-man squad, you want to go somewhere where there's enough loot for 4 players. And the looting phase and stuff like this is kind of obvious, so I'm going to skip over this, just kind of showing me getting the M16 and M4. What I want to point out here is that on Sanook, if you just kind of lay low and loot, we're already at 53 people remaining. We're almost halfway through the game because that's how fast the game is, and we haven't come into any contact. And it's always important to keep looting even if you have good gear. You can see here we stopped into this town. I've ended up finding a M24 rifle and a backpack, which is just a huge addition to my loadout. It's also important to keep moving on Sanook because of how fast the circle shrinks on this map. In a second, I'm going to run into an enemy team, and the first thing that you should do here is yell out their location. I'm yelling at 100, 120, 130, and telling my team to stop and be careful. And I'm also telling them that if anybody stops moving, I'm going to take a shot. This guy stops, I line up a headshot and take it. I think this is just so important to tell people the location right away, and also tell them sometimes to be quiet. I'm going to take the first shot, and then that lets everybody know that hold their fire until you take a shot. Especially when you have a sniper rifle, you kind of should lead the charge on this because you can take someone down from a far distance away and also with just one shot. All right, so I skipped ahead a little bit here. We're right on the outside of the circle right now. This is kind of the strategy that we're going with, and I'm taking a painkiller because I'm not really sure if there's going to be anybody at the top of this hill, and I've been trying to promote taking your booster items as much as possible. I've seen a lot of pro players do this, so I kind of picked it up from them, but it can really make the difference of you surviving or dying in a gun battle, and it's really better to have used your booster items and run out than die with, like, say, having 4 of them and not using them. It's kind of like the old saying, smoke them if you got them, and I really think that this has helped improve my play and also helped me kind of survive a lot of different situations. And then right here, this is an interesting situation. This is kind of about the communication I was talking about before. I really wish that I was able to take that shot before my teammate shot and hit the water, because if you're in a situation when you're shooting someone from far away or even mid-range, as soon as you take a shot and miss, it's going to A, notify that the enemies that you're in the area, and B, those people you shot at are going to immediately seek cover, and then you're kind of in a stalemate position. So it's one of those things that, to me, when you're going to take a shot, you should really try to do your best that it's going to land. And if it's not going to land and they're moving, or you're not really positive of your accuracy or confident in your accuracy, you should kind of wait or kind of involve your teammates so that 2 or 3 people can shoot at that person at the same exact time and kind of increase the odds of you eliminating that player. And then right there, I just had some bad shots, kind of got hit from across the bridge. We're in an awkward situation here, and this is a great thing here. One of my teammates just says to leave and abandon the area, and sometimes you just have to know when to run and stop fighting. So I kind of start running with the hill. Luckily, the circle on this map is very slow, but this is just one of those situations where fighting isn't going to really lead to anything. Maybe we'll pick up one more kill, but we're not going to be able to loot their bodies, and it's just going to put us in jeopardy of getting killed or getting hit by the circle, and there's really no benefit. So you should just stay on the move, stay in the circle, avoid getting damaged, and work together. And then right here, as we're kind of retreating, just continuing the communication. Crypto says that there's a guy behind the rock. I'm letting him know that I'm flanking, so he's coming up to kind of assist me in case I die. We're just doing as much communication as we can and trying to, get into the circle, be safe, play safe, and continue on in the game, because as soon as you stop talking, start shooting, or saying there's someone right here instead of saying the number, you kind of put yourself in a bad position. Then, as you can see here, we've stopped to kind of heal up and exchange energy drinks. My booster bar is full because we're getting down to under 30 players. I'm not sure if people just heard us shooting, so they might be coming towards us, and we see some people off in the distance. Unfortunately, this is a bad shot of mine, so I missed this guy. Then I see another guy to my left side here. Tried to line up a headshot. It just missed right underneath. Probably hit him in the neck or the upper chest. Starting to get some shots on me, but you can see my booster bar is full, so I'm not super worried. I switch weapons and I'm trying to peek. Here's a great tip here. I decide to run, so I throw a stun in case he peeks back out. He would get flashed, and I try to run up the hill to get better cover. In these situations, you want to get on the hill to have as much cover as possible and stay on the tree line in case you need to stop and hide behind a tree and heal up. Also, the circle is moving, so we didn't really have much of a choice here. And then this is one of my favorite parts of the game, or my favorite clips of the game, is us kind of running up this hill backwards, all giving each other cover. I think the front guy is watching forward on the team, whoever was green, I think that's Crypto Sapphire, and we're all running slowly backwards here, kind of keeping up so that the blue circle doesn't hit us, and we all guide each other into the circle, and we end up killing that one guy. Then unfortunately here, Crypto Sapphire gets knocked and then killed by a player that's right on the outside of the circle. We were trying to run into the town here and he was kind of lagging behind. So then you can see something interesting here. What I do, instead of looking forward and just focusing on myself, I try to turn around to protect my teammates, and Cruel Intention is looking the opposite direction where I was going before. He actually knocks a player. So he's looking forward as he's running because he's closer to the circle. I'm looking back, covering his back, and that's just like perfect team unity there. And as we're running up this hill, this is always a risk when you're running without any cover through a field up the hill, but we're trying to position ourselves with higher position and also in the tree line. And as we're doing this, we're just yelling out as many positions as possible because we saw some people across the street. Then we remembered that a crate had fell in the area just as we were entering that town, so we kind of searched it out and found it. I approached the crate, which obviously this is a very risky move. You kind of risk it for the biscuit, and it's not something that I would always advise doing. You just sometimes have to do it, and this one paid off. I end up getting the M249 heavy machine gun. And then this is a very unfortunate situation here, and I think this is really relevant because a lot of people will find themselves in this kind of position as you're entering some of the final circles in the game. Basically, the final circle ends here. I have this small rock as cover, but I don't know if there's people in the town to the left of me. I know there's people to the right of me. I know there's some people up on the hill. There's people on our team are taking fire. This is just a very hectic situation because you can go from being in a great situation, which we just were, into a very unfortunate situation. And although I knocked the guy before, I whiffed a really major headshot on that guy that would have kept probably Boxadox alive. So this was just a really bad misplay by me. You can't hit them all though. You can't always make all of your shots. So it's just something that you have to do. And then here, I decided to stay back because of my weapon kit here. I could have ran up, but I would have jeopardized putting myself in a really bad position, giving my position away to this guy. He doesn't really know where I was. Even though I did hit him, it wasn't enough to kill him. So I end up just having to leave Boxadox. When you're this far into the circle, it's better to just leave your teammates. I've been known a lot to die for my teammates trying to heal them, but in these kind of situations, you just have to keep moving because there's nothing else you can really do. You just risk kind of killing yourself. And then also when you heal somebody in this kind of circle this late into the game, they're probably just going to die immediately because they won't have enough time to use a med kit. All right, so I just heard a lot of shooting to my right, and in this situation, I'm deciding to run away. I'm all for playing really aggressive in PUBG, but since I'm a solo player in a squad match, I want kind of the other teams to eliminate one another, so this gives myself a better chance of winning this game. And even though I'm kind of in the circle and in a good spot right now, I know that people are going to be rushing the middle of the circle to kind of get into the circle and be in the safe zone, so I want to leave and make sure that I don't get ambushed from the side. This is kind of a personal strategy of mine, so I actually leave safety to kind of go around and make sure that I'm not getting flanked and I'm flanking the other people. So I'm kind of trying to decide if I was another player on an enemy team, where would I be hiding? A lot of people like to hide behind rocks because it gives you way more cover than a tree. I spot out a guy here, and because I have the M249 rifle, I know that I have a little bit of an advantage because this gun is very, very powerful. So I run up on this guy, and I kind of tried to be the aggressor. He wasn't really ready for me. He did get a shot off, but I was able to kill him luckily, and that's great. His teammate comes to his aid, but now I'm in cover and his teammate is out of cover, and I'm in a great position. So you kind of have to make calculated moves. I knew when I ran down there that there was a tree available for me to have cover. I wasn't just going to run out of cover and completely make myself vulnerable. And then right here, this is an interesting thing. My teammates were telling me to reload, but I just got 2 kills with 45 bullets or 35 bullets, excuse me. So I take this time to take 2 painkillers, really increase my booster bar. And I know that there's only 2 people left. I can probably kill them with 65 rounds. So then I stay on the move here. Staying on the edge of the circle, again, I want to make sure that I'm not getting shot from behind. I keep moving from tree to tree. Again, where do people hide a lot in this game? Behind the rocks. They're just, more people would pick them over a tree. And this guy ends up laying down behind the rock, which is crazy. I got another person there hiding behind the rock. And again, if you're the enemy player, you don't want to be laying down in that situation. I get the idea of laying down because you just feel like you're in a lot more cover, but it makes you a lot less nimble. And I was able to sneak up on him and get the kill. And then here, as soon as you fire, the enemy is going to know where you are. So I immediately change direction, run to the other side of the map. I see that there's a guy here, and I just want to play aggressive because it's been working out well for me so far. He ends up throwing a grenade, which is great that I played aggressive because I ran up right on him. And he's actually kind of scared running around the circle right now, and ended up being able to take him out because, again, this gun is a beast. Obviously, a lot of this is luck because of the weapon that I got and being in this situation. There's a lot of RNG involved in PUBG in any Battle Royale game, but I really feel like if you do calculated aggression, use cover to your advantage, understand where you think the enemies are going to be, etc., 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 you can really put yourself in a better situation to win, even if you're by yourself in a squad match, even if you had bad aim, or even if you don't have the greatest gear in the game. So that's all of my tips and tricks for right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you all for watching. I'm Blitz5, and peace out. Like very, very... Oh my god, not a good idea. What just happened right there? How did that happen?